that make sense that you can beat your competition. So know your competition. Financing options for a new business. And these are options that have been studied over the years. This is what a number of people may have done. And I don't know, in this room, how many of you borrowed money from a financial institution, have ever accessed capital from a bank? Wonderful. And how many of you got loans from friends and relatives? Because Mitt Romney, during the election, he said you could go to your parents and get a loan. I couldn't go to my parents, but some people could go to their parents. I'm not being political, I'm just saying, that is an option for some people. 3% obtain loans from non-related persons. Sometimes that's an equity investment. Anybody had any equity investors in their business? And then some others use retirement accounts, savings, and others. Those are options for getting started and financing your business. The reality for women, the research shows that it takes a woman business owner, am I on the next slide? Yes, thank you. 22 attempts to obtain equity capital. Much more difficult for women to access capital. And fast-growing firms, women firms are more likely than their male counterparts to rely on their business earnings rather than accessing capital. Most large businesses grow by OPM, other people's money. And small business owners struggle to get OPM, and especially women business owners. But it's something that women have to become equipped with, because you have to keep enough capital in your business so that you can grow. You need working capital. And so if you're constantly taking your cash and pouring it into the business and not getting an infusion, you're going to run out of cash, and then you're going to not be able to service that new big contract that comes your way. Really important to consider OPM. African American women-owned business are the most credit-starved group of minority groups in terms of being able to access capital. Next slide. In considering obtaining capital, and I'm happy to answer more questions, I'm going to just run through a couple of these really quickly as my time comes short. You must have a business plan. You must have personal and business tax returns. And I met someone at the table. You told us to know some names. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to find her name. Tamel, and she's with Trinity Plus One Group. They do bookkeeping and business taxes and personal taxes. That's a good resource. If you have not filed tax returns and you're seeking a loan, you're going to have a problem. Get it together. Pay Caesar what's due Caesar. It's biblical. You have to have tax returns and financial statements. Your experience in business is really important. And if you're starting up and you've decided to start in a business that you have never had any experience in, and you go to a lender, the reality is they're going to wonder why. And what will you have to offer to make it competitive? So I would just encourage you, have a very good answer if you have no experience in the industry that you're seeking to go in. And if you don't have experience, I would encourage you to have a partner. Someone who can shore you up, who may have more experience in that industry, because in accessing capital, that's going to be a critical question. Know your plan and be able to present it. A lot of people have other people write their business plan. I don't recommend it. I understand getting help, but if you don't write your business plan, if you don't own it, you're going to be extremely challenged in trying to access capital from traditional lending sources, and even from equity players, because they want to know that you know it and that you've owned it, and that you're going to be able to carry it out. So if they ask you about a number in that business plan, or they ask you about how you're going to do marketing and you're stumbling, but it's written beautifully, that's going to be problematic. I want to urge you, know it, own it. Just some quick tips. When you think about planning, I just want to point this out that Truett Kathy said from Chick-fil-A. Have a business plan that's very critical. How will it work itself out? Once you get your sights on what you're doing, if there is a hiccup, how will you work it out? And then he says, keep your eyes open for the opportunities you didn't plan for. Wonderful to have a business plan, but don't be so locked in that you miss the opportunity before you.